Stop right now and listen deeply, because what I'm about to say will shatter every illusion you've ever believed to be true. Exactly 72 hours ago, while you slept peacefully, completely unaware, an unimaginable event took place in the spiritual realms of your being, something that would stun even the Prince of Darkness. The instigator of it all was none other than the one you cut off contact with, the one who drained your energy, controlled your emotions, and hurt you until you fell into despair. Their morbid obsession pushed them to a limit no one thought they would dare cross. They invoked the forces of darkness, giving them your image and asking for something that, if you knew the truth, would make your heart stop in shock. But the most shocking thing is that when the Prince of Darkness sees that picture, when he recognizes the invisible mark protecting you, he immediately rejects it, not with politeness but with absolute horror, as if the light emanating from you alone has consumed him, as if the mark on your life is a sacred fire that can devour any dark energy that touches it. He hears a warning from the heavens. Touch this person, and you will pay 7 times over. Meanwhile, the desperate man is completely unaware that every action they take has triggered the law of 7 times to protect you. It all began when they obsessively reviewed your account, hoping to see you fall without them. But your recent picture exposed a cruel truth. The light in your eyes pierced through the screen. Your energy frequency was so strong it made them tremble. Your posture, your demeanor, your inner peace, all proclaim something they cannot bear. You are thriving, you are improving, you are living a life far more powerful without them. This makes them like a candle in the sun, a puddle compared to the ocean, an ant trying to compare itself to a mountain. In their frenzy, they tremble, panic, and cannot accept the truth that you are no longer dependent on them as they once imagined. And so, in desperation, they plunge into studying dark magic, rituals, summoning forces they completely do not understand. But as soon as they bring your image into the darkness, the spiritual laws automatically turn to protect you and punish them. They do not know that the ancestral mark you carry makes even demons retreat, and they are now facing their own consequences. You, the chosen one, are entering a time when the ultimate spiritual truth is revealed. No one can touch you without a price, no enemy can harm you without 7-fold retaliation, and no darkness dares confront the burning mark on your life. They have searched the darkest corners of the dark arts, places filled with rituals that should have been long eradicated, forbidden manuals and summons that ordinary people should never even touch. And while the world sleeps, they prepare everything obsessively. Black candles arranged in a perfect pentagon, symbols scrawled in their own blood on the floor, and your picture right in the center of the circle. Words that should not exist in the mouths of mortals are murmured, opening cracks between dimensions in the hope of attracting the attention of an entity they naively believe they can control. But in the spiritual universe, nothing is free, especially calling upon the name of the Lord of Darkness. The room suddenly cooled from 72 degrees Fahrenheit to near freezing in an instant, not a gradual chill, but as if all warmth had been sucked away by a multidimensional vortex. The candles began to burn with flames not of this world, green, purple, blue, constantly shifting without wind. Then they felt its presence heavy as a mountain on their chests, older than humanity's first sinful thought, cruel in a way the human brain was not made to endure. The air became thick, sticky, and difficult to breathe. The smell of sulfur, mixed with the stench of decaying feces, filled the room, making their stomachs churn. It didn't appear as a cheap cartoon image, with red horns or a trident. What was taking shape before them was something that made every cell in their bodies want to flee. Darkness moving on its own in the face of light, eyes glowing with millennia of wisdom and an indescribable malevolence, its power spreading in waves that could be felt by their very flesh. They were immobilized, unable to move a muscle. The voice didn't come from any specific location, but simultaneously from the walls, the floor, the ceiling, and most terrifyingly from deep within their consciousness. "You dare summon me, you useless creature?" The voice echoed at a frequency that made their bones tremble. You dare distract me from more important matters to utter words you don't even understand? They tried to speak, but their throats were choked. Their hands trembled as they tried to point toward their friend's picture in the center of the circle. They wanted him to destroy you, to drag you back into the mire of humiliation, to punish you for daring to grow without them. But then, something unexpected happened. The devil shifted his gaze to your photograph, and in a fraction of a second, something pierced through that malevolent presence, a genuine hesitation, almost a recognition of familiarity, an unconscious reverence, even a fear of ancestor awakening, as if he had just seen something he should never have witnessed. Something that broke the rules he thought he ruled. Do you know who this person is? His voice boomed like thunder, shattering the wall mirror. This time, his voice was no longer arrogant, but wary. They tried to swallow their panic. Just someone I used to date, just an ordinary person. A cold, mocking laugh rang out. Ridiculous, foolish creature. He recoiled from your photograph as if it were gnawing at him, as if it were a trap he dared not touch. He stared at them, then let out a contemptuous laugh. You actually want me to touch someone bearing that kind of mark? With that mark, you wouldn't even understand what you're asking. The demon began circling the room, his presence as thick as breathing darkness. Let me tell you something I rarely share with any mortal, just so you understand how important the position of the one bearing that mark is. He stopped abruptly, as if realizing they were too foolish to understand what was coming, then spun around. Do you know about Cain? Yes, Cain, the first one to kill his own brother out of jealousy. And do you know what the Creator did to him? A heavy silence fell. He placed a mark on him. The demon's voice deepened, a protective seal. And do you know what it says? Whoever touches Cain will be retaliated against 7 times. Not 1, 7. He emphasized each word as if tapping on hot metal. A law of the universe. A mechanism activated by the Creator's own hand. He laughed dryly. And mankind thought that mark was a curse. But you were wrong. It was the most brutal armor the universe had ever placed on a living being. The warning was clear. Touch him, and destroy yourself tenfold. The demon turned toward your picture. And this one, they bear an upgraded version of that very mark. Not because they killed people, but because the path they took was truly more horrific than Cain. A hunger for souls, cruel betrayals, seasons of solitude that should have rotted the human mind. Instead of collapsing, they evolved. Instead of being consumed by darkness, they maintained their purity and became even stronger. He paused, dramatically. And those who do that will be marked. The mark of the chosen ones. An invisible mark that screams straight to my face. Touch this person, and you will pay 7 times the price. He tilted his chin, as if lecturing. If you want to delve deeper, the separate document is in the pinned description and comments. The demon continued, in an almost lecturing tone. Let me explain how the 7-fold rule works. Suppose I accept your request. Suppose I strike the person bearing the mark. I can cause a nightmare, block an opportunity, create a small betrayal. Sounds simple, right? But now, multiply everything by 7. Not the same consequences, but 7 times worse. He gritted his teeth and laughed. I sow 1 nightmare, and 7 others will come crashing down on me at the same time. I destroy 1 opportunity, and 7 of my actions will collapse instantly. I commit betrayal, and 7 of my alliances will crumble. And the most interesting thing is, this law doesn't just apply to me. It applies to anyone who attacks the bearer of the mark. He glared at them. So if you curse them, sabotage them, or try to bring them down, everything will come back to haunt you 7 times over. His eyes gleamed with malicious pleasure. You tried to harm them, didn't you? Those emotional manipulations, those cheap games, I saw it all. And do you know why they cut off contact? Because the law has begun to activate. Every time you manipulate, the consequences accumulate. When they fully awaken, the law is reversed and sweeps everything away. The demon laughed with satisfaction. So, everything you did against them will now come back to you sevenfold. The day you squandered one of their opportunities out of jealousy, prepare to see 7 of your own opportunities collapse in a bizarre way. The day you sowed discord among their friends, expect 7 of your relationships to crumble, leaving you 7 times more alone. They began to tremble. No, it can't be. It can be. His voice was sharp as a knife. And now you dare to invoke my power to attack a chosen one who bears the mark. You've just multiplied your karma, not 7 times anymore. It's 7 times 7, 49 times worse. The air around him darkened, so heavy it felt like it was crushing the room. Do you know what bothers me most? He bent down, his voice like grinding stone. It is that you dare to call my name in this matter. It distracts us from more important matters, wastes our time, just for you to ask such a foolish question. There's one thing you should know. It's impossible, almost suicidal on a cosmic scale. That's why they've disappeared, retreated completely. You don't know. You've never bothered to find out, so you can't understand why it went so far. I just thought you were at least smart enough to realize you couldn't continue manipulating them after they awakened. Arrogance mixed with stupidity. What a disturbing combination to me. The demon stepped closer, his shadow stretching out. Let me teach you a lesson about summoning powers you don't understand. When you call upon beings like me, you must accept the risks. And one of those risks is that I may decide to keep you here forever, as a living example to show that playing with darkness without wisdom is the most foolish thing. No. They screamed, trying to run, but their feet seemed nailed to the ground. I will not kill you, the demon said coldly. Death is too easy. I will let you live physically healthy, but carrying for life the memory of what you witnessed. It is this mental scar that is the real sentence. Then they felt something etched into their being, not physical pain, but a heavy mark imprinted directly on their souls. An eternal memory that they dared to use cosmic power in such a vile way, that they were humiliated in a way even the devil himself would have rejected. Every time you glance at that person's picture, the demon whispered softly, you will feel this wave of terror wash over you. You will remember that you tried to use my power against someone protected by a power far beyond mine. He leaned closer. Shame, fear, the feeling of being unable to touch them again, all will be triggered the moment you think of revenge. Just plotting it, and the mark I just placed will immediately backfire. Any attempt at manipulation will burn like red-hot iron. Any act of harm will inflict pain on you, multiplied by a factor of 7. From now on, he said slowly, you are absolutely forbidden forever to harm them again. His breath fanned their necks. Not because I'm merciful, but because if I touch the chosen one bearing the evolutionary mark of Cain, the consequences will be beyond my comprehension. I must stop you, to protect myself from that chain reaction. The demon sighed heavily. You truly don't understand how the universe works. I'll keep it brief before I'm finished with you. He began pacing around the room. In this universe, there are countless levels. That hierarchy was established even before humanity existed. At the top is the source of light, the creator who made us and defeated us. He laid down laws like the mark of Cain, laws that even we must obey for survival. Below him are the archangels like Michael, Gabriel, Raphael. Below them are the ordinary angels. Below them are the elemental forces, gravity, time, space. And then come beings like us, the fallen, the devils, possessing abundant power but still within the confines of the universe. And even lower, he said, are 99.9% of humanity, living in spiritual blindness, detached, knowing nothing of the real world. That's my hunting ground. I can easily influence them. His voice lowered. But sometimes, among humanity, children are born different. carrying something encoded from the moment of their formation. A mission, a purpose, a mark beyond ordinary existence, rare souls enveloped in a protection you cannot comprehend. He pointed directly at your picture. This person is one of them. They were chosen before they even took their first breath. Marked for a purpose your limited mind cannot handle. And when a chosen one bears the mark, the protection becomes absolute, not a choice, not an agreement, but the law of the universe. His voice suddenly turned to the person watching the story. Yes, I'm speaking to you, because this story concerns not only them, but you as well. The mark you bear that you yourself are not even fully aware of. Ask yourself, he continued, why that person is so desperate that they would implore the devil to turn against you. Because deep down, they know they've lost something priceless. They're destroying an opportunity with a genuine heart. They threw away the diamond. It was once just a worthless stone to them, and now you shine with a light they could never reach. Their despair has transcended the limits of reason, but this is what you need to engrave in your consciousness. You don't need to tremble before those who once manipulated you. You don't need to worry about those who secretly plot to bring you down, nor do you need to lose sleep over their jealousy or curses. All those intentions will eventually hit the same invisible wall, receiving the same uncompromising rejection. Whether from demons, witches, or any dark force, the result remains the same, because the laws of the universe operate automatically without your subjective belief. The protection surrounding your life is not something you seek or rely on. It is not the product of an elaborate ritual, but the inevitable consequence of the person you have become after countless trials. You are still alive after things that would have shattered your soul. You have walked through spiritual hunger without being corrupted, experienced betrayal without becoming a betrayer, endured seasons of terrifying solitude, yet retained the capacity to love. You have endured pains that could turn someone into a monster, but in you, it has become a refining fire, making you stronger without losing your purity. Each time you overcome a test without being distorted, your mark is reinforced. Each time you might fall but choose to rise, the protection around you thickens. Each moment you might give up but continue to move forward, the invisible seal upon you shines brighter. That is why you now operate within a level of protection that even the devil would think twice before touching you, not because you are perfect, but because you have been tested, verified, and certified in the furnace that most of humanity would have melted long ago. Let me show you the concrete evidence that this mark is. It's happening in your life, because you may have seen it, but never connected the events. The first sign: those who betray you suffer swift, unusual, and uncontrollable consequences. This isn't the drawn-out kind of karmic retribution. The consequences fall almost immediately, sharp and precise like a scalpel, as if the universe declares, you have touched the one bearing the mark, and they pay sevenfold. Those who betray you at work, after only a few months or even weeks, see their careers crumble. Fired, reputation plummets, opportunities vanish, health declines, finances plummet, and all at once, because this isn't linear cause and effect, but the law of sevenfold at work. The second sign: every plan against you falls apart in ways that defy logic. They calculate every step, prepare meticulously, and seem certain of success. Then, suddenly, a key figure changes their mind, a crucial detail goes wrong, or information is leaked at the critical moment. It's a silent defense at work behind the scenes, thwarting the attack before it even begins. The third sign: opportunity appears at the very moment when hope seems lost, when you've reached a breaking point with no way out. Suddenly, a door appears from nowhere. A stranger extends a helping hand. A path opens up when you need it most, because protection ensures you're never abandoned on the journey you were sent to complete. The fourth sign: toxic people gradually disappear from your life without you having to fight fiercely. They withdraw, lose interest, find easier targets, as if repelled by an invisible force, because the mark not only attracts protection, it also repels predators. And the fifth sign, you always feel like you're being watched, not a delusion, but a deep-seated awareness that eyes are protecting you, an all-encompassing presence that makes you feel safe, because your defense system never stops working, day and night. And then comes the sixth sign. You begin to feel a purpose in life so intensely that it's no longer vague. Not the, I think I should do something kind of feeling, but a profound certainty that you are here for a very clear reason, a mission programmed into your soul that only you can fulfill. That feeling sustains you even when everything around you falls apart, because it's not arrogance, but an awareness of the mark you bear. But this is the part that will completely change how you see yourself. This mark, the protection that operates according to the law of 7 times, was not created to help you live a comfortable, ordinary life. It exists to ensure you fulfill your mission, to ensure that you reach your destination, overcoming any obstacles intended to hinder the work you were sent to do. For look closely. If the universe has gone to such lengths to protect you, if higher forces have laid laws that even the devil must bow to, if you were marked from before your first cry with 7-fold protection against anyone who would harm you, then it can only mean one thing: you have a role to play on a larger, more personal level, something that cannot be delayed or destroyed, a mission that creates ripple effects across multiple layers of reality. Your life is not just to serve yourself, it is living proof that light can still be born in darkness without being tainted. Each time you overcome a challenge that should have brought you to your knees, it is not just personal growth, it is testimony to other chosen ones that they too can rise, they too can walk through fire, they too can become an indestructible version of themselves. Your existence opens up possibilities, and in this universe, possibilities are what break all old patterns and pave the way for countless others to follow. When you bear the mark, it means you are doing the right thing. And when you truly understand that you are carrying a mission greater than your own life, a shift occurs within you. You stop complaining about small annoyances, you stop playing victim, you stop wasting energy on meaningless things, because you realize that if higher forces have kept you alive amidst seemingly insurmountable adversity, ensuring you complete your journey, then you carry a sacred duty that cannot be wasted. A gift that billions of people in the world would readily trade everything for. And those who tried to use demons against you, they will never understand this, because they chose manipulation over truth, a mask over reality, controlling others over self-control. They will forever be trapped in a low frequency, living aimlessly, unprotected, and filled only with despair as they watch you shine brighter. The chosen one. Now you know the truth that changed everything. That person summoned the darkest force in the universe to destroy you, gave your image to the devil, hoping you would be annihilated. But when that force looked at you, it recognized the evolutionary mark of Cain on your life and fearfully exclaimed, "No, this I cannot touch. The law of 7 times will destroy me." You are not a victim of any circumstances. You are a warrior enveloped by the protection of the universe, operating according to the automatic laws established by the Creator himself. You are the chosen one, sealed to undertake a mission beyond ordinary comprehension. Your light has been forged in darkness that even the deepest darkness cannot swallow. And for those who wish to delve deeper into Cain's evolutionary mark, the law of 7 times, and how the chosen operate within the protective sphere that even demons must respect, there are in-depth resources costing only the price of a cheap meal, but containing a complete audiobook, a 5-minute summary, and even meditation guidance as a special gift. If you feel you deserve to understand the spiritual power flowing within you, how to carry and use it purposefully, the path is in the description and pinned comments. So, it's time to stop fearing desperate exes, stop worrying about petty jealousies, and stop losing sleep over those who dare hire sorcerers hoping to bring you down. All of them, one by one, will hit the same invisible wall, receive the same cold rejection, and be swept into the same kind of consequences multiplied sevenfold, and returning to crush their own lives. Because you no longer exist at a frequency they can reach, you have surpassed, evolved beyond, become something even the Prince of Darkness recognizes and respects only to protect himself. Your mark resonates in the spiritual realm, declaring that you are protected by the law of seven. Anyone who dares to touch you is putting themselves at cosmic risk. And when you know that, the question is, what do you do next? Appreciate the protection you have received. Appreciate the flames you have walked through. Appreciate the pain you have transformed into diamonds. Don't waste that gift by shrinking yourself. Don't trade the extraordinary for the ordinary. Don't betray the investment the universe has placed in you. You were born to shine, protected to fulfill your unique mission, sealed with power beyond ordinary hierarchies. So walk without excuses, without self-sabotage, without retreating. If you truly recognize that you bear the evolutionary mark of Cain, that you operate under the law of sevenfold multiplication, that this mark confirms a mission greater than yourself. Write 777 inches, the comments, to amplify the collective frequency of the chosen ones. Subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications to continue receiving revelations about how the chosen ones are marked and operate through spiritual laws, and why the protection around you is stronger than anything you've ever imagined. Share this video with someone who has also walked through fire and become stronger because they too bear the mark. Warriors need to recognize each other in a world that doesn't understand the magnitude of the spiritual power they carry. And before you leave, tap on the video playing on your screen to discover more signs that you are living under divine protection and why every plot against you crumbles. We together are stronger.